Hello, Elly here from Thankful Flow Yoga. Thank you so much for joining me for day 2 in our 30 days of yoga. So today we are going to be doing a stretchy and strengthening flow. We will be moving through a series of postures where I will give options throughout, so whether you're newer to yoga or you have an existing practice, as always you can make the flow stronger or more gentle depending on what you need today. So we're going to come to a comfortable seated position on the mat, so finding a cross-legged position or having the legs out in front, whichever you prefer. I want you to bring the hands down to the knees or the thighs with the palms facing down, and start to close off the eyes when you're ready, or take a steady gaze out in front. And as you inhale through the nose, start to observe where the breath's traveling to within your body. And we're going to take some equal breaths today, practicing our coherent breathing technique. So this helps to optimize our heart rate, our metabolic rate, our brain waves. This is a really powerful breath. So we're going to inhale for 4 and exhale for 4. You can change the count to a number that works for you. And if the breathing doesn't feel right for you at any time, please come back to your natural breath. So inhaling through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Come back to your natural breath. Relax the face, relax the neck and the shoulders. Let your shoulder blades run down your back. Take a couple of shoulder rolls here. Just noticing how the shoulder blades feel, the muscles in the back of the body. Checking in with how you feel today. Noticing whatever is there, making space for whatever is there. We don't have to label anything. And starting to open the eyes back up when you're ready. Bring your right hand down to the mat beside you, or fingertips. Inhale, sweep that left arm up, lift up and out from the waist. Exhale, come into a stretch over to the right. Stretching into the left side body. And float it over to the other side now. So inhale, right arm comes up, lift up and out from the waist. Exhale, stretch over to the left. Breathing here. And release that right hand back down. Take the left hand to the right knee. Right hand comes out behind, finding a twist. Inhale, make space, reach the crown of the head to the ceiling. Exhale, moving into your twist to the right, following with your gaze. And scanning into the body here, noticing the back of the body, the shoulders, the neck, the spine. Being the observer. So we're leading with the breath, following with the body, and observing with our mind. And releasing, coming back to center. Make your way over to the other side. So right hand comes to left knee or thigh. Left hand comes out behind. Inhale, lifting and lengthening. Exhale, twist to the left. Follow with your gaze. Checking in with how everything feels on this side. Noticing anything that feels different from one side to the other. But just to be curious. Not because we want to label one side of the body as good or bad or better than the other. Just to observe. To notice, to be aware. And come back to center. Well done. So from here, moving into your tabletop position now. Your all fours position, shoulders stacked above the wrists, hips above the knees. Start to lengthen your right leg out behind. Flex that right foot. Imagine that it's pressing into something. And gently draw the belly in. Notice if you're sinking into the back at all here. And really allow these core muscles to support you. You can either work here or you can add in that left arm, reaching forwards with the left fingertips as you press back through the right heel. An option to bend in that right leg, take the left hand to the right foot, find a little half bow here. And again, this is just an add-on option that I'm giving. This does not mean that you need to put this in your body today. It's just remembering to honor what you and your body needs in this practice. I'm guiding you. This is your practice. And this is the journey that we're on through these 30 days of yoga. Is really learning how to listen to, be aware, honor our body, and take options that are right for us. So releasing if you've taken the half bow, bring that leg and that arm back in. Come into a neutral spine and gently shift back and forth. Make sure that your fingers are nice and spread, checking in with the hands and the wrists. Taking some deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling. Finding that connection to your breath. Seeing what you can notice. And then coming back to stillness, we come to the other side. So left leg reaches back, flex that left foot. Imagine that it's pressing into something. You could be working here. You could be tapping the toes back down and away from the mat. Option to reach the right fingertips out in front. Reach forwards with the right hand. Press back through the heel of the left foot. And then option to take the half bow if that feels right for you. And gently releasing, bringing everything back into center. Well done. And then keeping your hips stacked above the knees, we're going to walk the hands forwards, finding our extended puppy pose. So again, you could come down onto the forearms here if that helps you to find a more supportive way to come into this position. You're melting the forehead and the heart down towards the mat. So really opening into the upper part of the spine, the shoulders, the heart space. Our heart space relates to the chest area, the heart of course, but also extends out through the shoulders and the arms when we're in our practice. So Anahata, our heart chakra, our energy center in the heart area, extends into the shoulders, the arms, the upper part of the back. And this energy center is all about love, of course, and connection to others, but interestingly is about loving others and loving ourselves and finding the balance between the two. Inhale, draw the belly button in, walk the hands back into center. So you're back in your tabletop position, tuck the toes under and just see if you can take a little hop in towards the hands. Bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, lift the chest. Come up to Tadasana Mountain Pose. At the top of your mat, feet roughly hip width apart. Inhale, reach your fingertips up to the sky, lift up and out from the waist. Exhale, cactus the arms, opening across the chest. Inhale here, lift the ribs away from the hips. As you exhale, take a twist to the right. So you're really twisting from the waist, and notice how your legs, your feet are all grounding to stabilize you as you twist the upper body here. Inhale, come back to center, and on the exhale, twist around to the other side, so twisting to the left. Inhale, come back to center, and release the arms down to the side of the body. Again, take a little wiggle here through the arms, the shoulders, maybe a couple of shoulder rolls. And we'll move into our sun salutations now, Surya Namaskar A. So inhaling, sweep your fingertips up to the sky, lift the ribs away from the hips. Exhale, float forward, bend the legs as much as you need to. Ardha Uttanasana, or Uttanasana, sorry. Inhale, lift the chest, lengthen the spine, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Lengthening the spine. And exhale, bring the hands down to the mat, step the feet back. And we'll drop the knees straight down. Keep the elbows tucked in, lower the chest down to the mat. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, peel the chest away, cobra. Or of course you can take your upward facing dog here if you wish to, if that's in your practice. Exhale, melt the chest back down to the mat. And start to press the hands into the mat. On the exhale, lifting the hips to the sky for your downward facing dog. Coming through a tabletop position if you need to there. Press the mat away with your hands and hug the arms in towards the ears. So we want our triceps rolling down towards the mat. So this lower part of the arm is rolling down towards the mat. Imagine hugging the arms in towards the ears here to support your shoulders as we're lifting the hips to the sky, lengthening through the spine. And you can have as much bend as you need to in the legs. The main thing in your downward facing dog is the length through the spine. That's the most important thing. So breathing here, taking a child's pose if you need to. Inhale, sweep your right foot through between the hands and reach the fingertips up to the sky. Find a high lunge. So for your high lunge, this back leg can have a little bend in it. Doesn't have to be straight. Just checking in that your front knee is above the ankle, that you can see your big toe. If your knee's coming over, just bringing that front foot out slightly, finding that alignment where the joints are stacked. And float the arms into cactus here. So staying in your high lunge, we're going to float our arms. So on the inhale, lengthen both arms and reach the fingertips up to the sky. And then exhale, bring them back to cactus. 2 more. Inhale. And as you reach the arms up, really lift up and out from the pelvis. Exhale, back to cactus. Last one. Inhale, lifting up and out from the waist. Exhale, back to cactus. Well done. Bring the hands into the hips. Step your back foot in. So these left toes are pointing out at a slight angle. Right foot's facing forwards. We want the hips to be shining forwards. Hips are nice and square. Inhale, reach your hands up to the sky. Lift the ribs away from the hips. As you exhale, keep your spine long and fold forwards. And as you do so, sweep the arms back and behind. Now you could be folding forwards ever so slightly here. You could be coming lower down. Maybe if you're deeper into your practice and you're bringing your forehead down towards the shin, then you absolutely can. So we're going to move with the breath. So inhale, sweeping the arms up to the sky, lifting up and out from the waist. But really make sure that you keep the spine long. We're not rounding the spine here. Exhale, floating forwards. Last one, inhale, lifting up and out. And you can go at your own pace. You can slow things down a little if you need to. Let your breath lead the movement. Exhale, folding. Inhale, coming back up. Beautiful. Exhale, come back to hands at heart center. Now from here, either grabbing 2 blocks if you're using your blocks for warrior 3, or you're just bringing the weight into that right leg. Hips are square, finding that warrior 3 position. So left leg comes out behind. Imagine that you're pressing that left heel into something. Finding a drishti or a gazing point. Breathing. And then starting to come away from your warrior 3. So bending through that leg, bringing the hands down to the mat. Step the feet back to plank position. Remember, you could always take a child's pose instead here, or you're going to float through your chaturanga. So either dropping the knees down, inhaling into cobra, or an upward facing dog. And then on the exhale, you float back to downward facing dog. Hips are lifting, pressing the mat away with your hands. Finding your breath, coming back to your breath. Noticing how the breath feels. Inhale, we step the left foot through between the hands. Reach the fingertips up to the sky. Lift up and out from the waist. Check in with your alignment, especially with that front leg. And float the arms into cactus. Then we're going to float our cactus arms now. Lots of floating in this flow today. So inhale, reaching the fingertips up to the sky, but as you do so, really lift up and out from the waist. Exhale, bring them back to cactus. 2 more. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, floating back down. Last one. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, floating back down. Well done. Bring the hands to the hips. Step that right foot in. So this time we've got right toes are pointing out at a slight angle. Left foot is facing forwards, legs stay straight in this position, hips are shining forwards. So inhaling, reaching up, lifting the ribs away from the hips. As you exhale, keep the spine long as you fold forwards and float the arms back. So remember, your float could be here, but really keeping that spine nice and long. So if you're finding you're having to go like this, you might be better staying higher up, but keeping that lovely alignment with the spine. You could be floating further down, if that feels good too. So listening to your own body. Inhale, reaching the hands up to the sky. Exhale, floating forwards. Keep that left hip tucked in. And last one, really slow and controlled movements as we do this. So we're not rushing anything. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, floating forwards. Inhale, lift the fingertips back up to the sky. Exhale, hands come through to heart center. Now grabbing your blocks if you need them, and then we're bringing the weight into that left leg this time, finding our warrior three. Or you can simply reduce the range of movement if you don't have blocks to hand. So not dropping the chest down as much, but practicing lifting that back leg away could be a really good place to start with your warrior three. So with that back heel, the right heel, imagine that's pressing into something. Hips are staying square, stay with your breath. And then we float the hands down to the mat, bending through that left leg, stepping it back to a plank position. And from here, we're going to drop the knees down to the mat, keep the elbows tucked in, lower down to your front. And then take a little gentle roll over so that you're lying on your back. It doesn't matter really how you get there. We're just meeting in a lying position now. Take a moment here, take a couple of breaths and allow the body to settle to the ground. Take a moment to absorb that movement that we've just done. Closing the eyes if that feels comfortable. And then we're going to bend both legs here and reach your right arm out to the side, and you can either bring the right arm into cactus or you can have it straight and in a T shape. I actually only have room to do cactus here right now, but cactus position with the arm for what we're about to do will feel stronger on the shoulder, so just be mindful of that and take the other option if you need to. So we're going to drop our legs over to the left, adjusting the hips if you need to, so finding this supine twist, and then allow your head to drop over to the right in the opposite direction to your legs. And as always, you can hook the legs here if you want to come a little deeper into the twist, or you can have support underneath the legs if that's needed. You can have a block or a bolster or cushion stacked up, filling in any space that is there between your legs and the ground. Just remembering that we're wanting to let go of tension from the body. So if you're doing anything that feels like it's adding tension, then just being aware of that and being mindful of that and taking any options of support in those instances where you can. So this lying twist is a really lovely gesture of surrender. So the more that you relax here, the more that you let go, the more that the body will naturally sink into the twist and will naturally do whatever it needs to do. So on your exhales here, just breathing out and letting go. Thinking of anything that you want to release. And that could be mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever it is, whatever resonates for you. Taking some longer or elongated exhales if you can here, and just breathing out. Imagine that you're emptying any tension or stress out from the body. And then slowly unraveling, coming back through center. Taking a pause. And then when you're ready, you're going to cactus the left arm, or you can have it lengthened. And then dropping your legs over to the other side. So finding your twist on the opposite side now, and the head drops over towards the left. Taking a hook with the legs if that feels good to, it may not. And then coming back to those breaths on this side. So nice long exhales. Seeing if you can find that sense of surrender, that sense of letting go, of being at ease. Allowing the body to be held and supported by the ground that's beneath it. Taking your last breath in the twist now. Slowly starting to unravel. Just coming to a lying position on the mat. Letting every single part of the body soften. Relax the face, the jaw, the shoulders, the hips, the legs, the feet. If you want to stay longer in your Shavasana, then I definitely recommend that you do so. If you're ready to start coming away from the practice, I want you to roll over to one side, whichever side feels natural for you. And then from one side, just gently easing your way back to a comfortable seated position on your mat. Keeping the eyes closed if you can. And starting to open the eyes, coming back into the physical body when you're ready, taking a steady gaze. Thank you so much for being here and practicing with me. If you're enjoying these flows, then do make sure to subscribe to this channel. There's a link below to the other things that I offer. It's a free trial of my online membership during the month of January, so do check that out, which includes a live online chakra themed retreat. So yes, do take a look at that. Do comment and feedback to me on how you're getting on, and I hope to see you for some further flows. Thank you so much. Bye bye.